Good morning and Merry Christmas. I'm KHEL meteorologist Chris Ramirez. We are tracking lots of rain and storms moving through southeast Texas, and that does include the Houston area. There is a large swath of rain and storms to the west of town, and that is expected to move into the Houston area within maybe the next 30 minutes to an hour, and we're already seeing some rain activity ongoing. There was a tornado warning that was in effect for Washington, actually Colorado County. The National Weather Service has now allowed that to expire, but there is a severe thunderstorm warning in place for Fort Bend County. That does include Sugar Land, Richmond, and Needville, and this storm is moving off towards the northeast with 0.25 inch diameter hail with 50-mile-an-hour winds. So this could very well likely end up into southeastern Harris County within the next maybe 25 to 30 minutes as that storm is moving off towards the northeast at around 25 miles an hour. There is also another severe thunderstorm warning. Actually, the National Weather Service allowed that one to expire just south of Angleton, but also we have to keep an eye on the large amount of rain that is currently falling. The flood advisory now in effect for northwestern Harris County. That does include Montgomery and Waller counties as you're seeing lots of rain, lots of lightning. This is along the Highway 290 corridor. This does include Cypress, Tomball, Magnolia, as well as Pinehurst north of Katy. So something to keep an eye on in terms of ponding and moderate flooding ongoing along these roadways in northwestern Harris County. So definitely not really a good idea to be out on the roads, at least for the next several hours, as we are expecting this swath of rain to continue off. And it looks like a new severe thunderstorm warning now in place for portions of Montgomery and northern Harris County. And now we're seeing 60-mile-an-hour wind speeds with that storm that's now moving through the Tomball Spring area. So something to keep an eye on for the next several hours, as we are expecting lots of lightning and these storms to start packing a punch through the Houston area. So right now we are looking at closer towards Montgomery County, northern Harris County, in and around the Woodlands. We could see hail within 1 inch diameter with this storm that is currently just to the north of the Willowbrook area, as well as along the Grand Parkway in northwestern Harris County. This is moving off towards the northeast at around 25 miles an hour, and so we could see some fairly high winds with this storm that's heading towards the Woodlands and Spring along I-45. So that's a new severe thunderstorm warning that now is in effect for portions of Harris County. We have seen a tremendous amount of rain that has fallen within the last 12 hours, close to 4 inches of rain out in Waller County, 2.5 inches of rain north of Cypress, 2.3 inches of rain along the Grand Parkway, and we're continuing to see this large swath of rain moving through southeast Texas in our northern areas. So lots of activity ongoing across the area as we head into the overnight hours into Christmas Day morning, but just keep in mind that we are expecting this to continue at least until 6 o'clock this morning. So the National Weather Service issuing that severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect for much of southeast Texas. Any storm that does move through your area does have the potential for having hail, wind gusts, and tornadoes with it. And we've already seen a couple of storms with isolated tornado warnings with these storms that are now moving off towards the west of Harris County. So as we look at future track, we are expecting this to continue moving through the Houston area between 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Eventually, this is going to start reaching the Galveston area between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. And then by 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, we're still going to start seeing this activity to the south of the Houston area. And then we're not really expecting this to move out of the picture at least until close to 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. The good news about all of this is that we are expecting mostly quiet conditions behind this cold front that is currently sweeping through our area. And so the latter half of Christmas Day is going to be quite clear and calm, and we're not expecting any rain chances. So we don't have any travel concerns later in the hours of Christmas Day, as once this cold front passes. So we are expecting these conditions to remain mostly severe as we head closer towards 5 o'clock, and then by 7 we're going to see that moderate threat and that threat diminish. But the good news is that we are expecting a fantastic Christmas Day afternoon. It's not going to be as cold, high temps in the 70s, but just keep in mind that for the next few days we are expecting another weather system to move through heading into Thursday, and we could see some severe weather with this next system. So keep that in mind if you are planning to travel home after Christmas, the day after, and into the weekend, as we are expecting the weather pattern to remain unsettled at least through the weekend, and eventually clearing for the next few, for the start of next week. So as we look at our 7-day forecast, high temps in the 70s, lows in the 60s. We are expecting these conditions to remain mostly warm, very above average in terms of our seasonal temperatures. So keep that in mind that we're not really going to need those jackets. You might need them in the morning hours, but overnight it's going to be quite chilly with lows in the 50s as we head into the overnight hours. So as we wrap this up and kind of just reiterate what's going on, we still have lots of rain to continue to fall across our area. It's just now getting started for Houston. And if you look off towards the west, you have lots of lightning. It's going to be a very noisy night for the next few hours as we're now seeing these storms pack a bit of a punch. There was a tornado warning that was in effect for portions of Colorado County that was to the west of Houston along I-10. The National Weather Service allowed that to expire, but just also keep in mind that we're now starting to see more severe thunderstorm warnings pop up. There is one now that includes Fort Bend County with inch diameter hail with this storm, with wind speeds at 50 miles an hour, as well as areas to the north of Houston. Flood advisory in effect for northwestern Harris County, so we're seeing tremendous amount of rain that could potentially cause some flooding concerns, but also a new severe thunderstorm warning that's now in effect for northern Harris and Montgomery counties, which includes Spring, the Woodlands, even just south of Conroe, as we could see 60-mile-an-hour winds with that storm as it makes its way closer to 45. So right now the strongest part of that storm is now to the southeast of Tomball, but if you are along Spring, even along the 45 corridor north of the Beltway, keep in mind that we could see some wind gusts with this system as it continues moving off towards the northeast. So definitely expecting a fairly interesting next several hours as the weather situation is just now getting started for us here across the Houston area. And just keep in mind that any storm that does flare up does have the potential for having that hail threat, isolated tornado, as well as those damaging wind threat. We're already seeing severe thunderstorms that are including wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour. Again, this severe thunderstorm watch will now last until 6 o'clock this morning. The good news about all of this is that this is going to move out of our area as we get closer towards around the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock hours. So if you have those Christmas Day plans, we are expecting mostly quiet and clear conditions for the latter half of Christmas Day, but it's going to be quite a noisy night for us as we head into the next several hours, at least until 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock this morning. So of course, we are tracking the latest on the KHOU 11 app as well as on KHOU.com. Again, I'm meteorologist Chris Ramirez with your digital weather update. So definitely stay safe out there and hunker down as we head into the next few hours.